Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha Television. I'm Frank Rausen Pereira, and before we begin with the headlines, Rajya Sabha TV would like to make an appeal to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember to wear face masks, wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure that you maintain physical distancing of at least 6 feet while stepping outside. These simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. And now it's time for the headlines. India ready to leap ahead in the information era, asserts Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Bengaluru Tech Summit, says government has made technology a key part of all its schemes, hails Digital India as a way of life. India-Luxembourg cooperation could help us deal with economic and health challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the virtual summit with his Luxembourg counterpart, pitches for strengthening of bilateral ties. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for a nationwide campaign for water conservation, addressing the Mission Pani campaign, urges every citizen to become a water warrior, stresses on the need for innovative methods to resolve water shortage. Bipole to one Rajya Sabha seat from Bihar vacated due to death of Ramvilas Paswan to be held on the 14th of December. Notification to be issued on the 27th of November. India's active caseload falls below 5% of the total COVID-19 cases. Recovery rate rises to 93.58%. Delhi government raises fine for not wearing mask to 2,000 rupees. Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine may get approval in US and Europe by the middle of December. Our top focus on the bulletin this evening, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday said that there is a lot of potential for increasing economic exchanges between India and Luxembourg. The Prime Minister held a bilateral summit with his Luxembourg counterpart, Xavier Bettel. Addressing the first summit in 2 decades between the two nations, Prime Minister Modi expressed condolences on behalf of all Indians for the loss of lives due to COVID-19 in Luxembourg.
डेमोक्रेसी, रूल ऑफ लॉ और फ्रीडम जैसे साझा आदर्श हमारे संबंधों और आपसी सहयोग को मजबूती देते हैं। भारत और लक्समबर्ग के बीच आर्थिक आदान प्रदान बढ़ाने का बहुत पोटेंशियल है। स्टील, फाइनेंशियल टेक्नोलॉजी, डिजिटल डोमेन जैसे क्षेत्रों में हमारे बीच अभी भी अच्छा सहयोग है, किंतु इसे और आगे ले जाने की अपार संभावना है।
While addressing the summit held via video conferencing, Prime Minister Modi welcomed Luxembourg's announcement to join the International Solar Alliance.
इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस आईसा में लक्समबर्ग के शामिल होने की घोषणा का हम स्वागत करते हैं और आपको कोएलिशन फॉर डिजास्टर रेजिलिएंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ज्वाइन करने के लिए आमंत्रित करते हैं। इस वर्ष अप्रैल में हिज रॉयल हाइनेस द ग्रांड ड्यूक की भारत यात्रा कोविड-19 के कारण स्थगित करनी पड़ी। हम शीघ्र उनका भारत में स्वागत करने की कामना करते हैं। कोविड-19 महामारी से
While speaking on the occasion, the Luxembourg Prime Minister Xavier Bettel welcomed the agreements in the area of space and finance between the two nations.
Through the business, through dedication, through the exchange, we are able also to deepen the roots through our bilateral level. And I just want to tell you also that we have good cooperation on bilateral level, but also on multilateral level. You know that my country, as your country, we know that we are stronger when we work together. And so you can count also on us, and we supported and welcomed India elections to the UN Security Council for the term 21-22, which is also, I think, a very important success.
Meanwhile, India and Luxembourg signed 3 MOUs during the bilateral summit. Addressing the media, External Affairs Ministry's Joint Secretary, Europe West, Sandeep Chakrabarti, said that the meeting focused on financial sector, fintech, green financing, and space application.
The meeting focused on constructive engagement on our bilateral relationship, and especially giving the strengths of the Luxembourg economy and our needs. It focused on the financial sector, it focused on fintech, on green financing, and on space applications. They also discussed the people-to-people ties. There was also a great deal of discussion on deepening business ties between the two countries.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday also inaugurated the 23rd edition of the Bengaluru Tech Summit 2020 via video conferencing. He said that the government's policy decisions are always aimed at liberalizing the tech and innovations industry. The Prime Minister also said that Digital India has come a long way and become a way of life, particularly for the poor and marginalized. Here's more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitched for Design in India but deployed for the world tech solutions on Thursday. Addressing the Bengaluru Tech Summit 2020, the Prime Minister called on the information and technology industry to make a conscious attempt to take product-level innovations to the next level.
In the information era, the raw material, which is information, is everywhere in front of us, and everyone has access to it. India, as a country, is uniquely positioned to leap ahead in the information era. We have the best minds as well as the biggest market. Our local tech solutions have the potential to go global. India is at a sweet spot. It is time for tech solutions that are designed in India but deployed for the world.
He said the Digital India mission launched by the centre 5 years ago is no longer seen as a regular government initiative but has become a way of life instead. Highlighting the significance of technology amid the coronavirus pandemic, Prime Minister said that technology ensured that India's poor received proper and quick assistance during lockdown.
Through technology, we have enhanced human dignity. Millions of farmers receive monetary support in one click. At the peak of the COVID-19 lockdown, it was technology that ensured that India's poor received proper and quick assistance. The scale of this relief has few parallels. If India is successfully operating the world's largest healthcare scheme, Ayushman Bharat, it is due to a big role of technology.
The Prime Minister said that the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in ever-increasing adoption of technology at a scale unknown till recently. He added that it was the resilience of the technology sector that came to the rescue during global lockdowns.
Global lockdowns, travel restrictions have constrained people inside their homes, away from their place of work. At such a time, the resilience of our tech sector was seen. Our tech sector came into action and used tech solutions to keep work going on from home and from anywhere. The tech industry recognizes a great innovation opportunity in bringing people together. The amount of tech adoption that would not have happened in that decade happened in just a few months. Work from anywhere has become the norm and is going to stay. We will see a high amount of tech adoption in the fields of education, health, shopping, and more.
More than 25 nations are participating in the 23rd edition of this event. The central theme of the three-day event is Next is Now, highlighting the need for preparedness by using innovations and technological interventions. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has called for a nationwide campaign on water conservation. Virtually addressing the Mission Pani campaign organized by a private news channel, the Vice President urged everyone to adopt water-saving measures at the earliest, or else the world would face severe water shortage in the future. Addressing the Mission Pani's Jal Pratigya Divas event, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu stressed on the need for taking collective action to avert a major water crisis. Referring to Niti Aayog's report, the Vice President said that India's demand for potable water will outstrip supply by 2030. He said that the water situation in India is worrisome and we cannot remain complacent by adopting a chalta hai attitude.
भारत में भी पानी की स्थिति चिंताजनक है और जो पानी उपलब्ध है उसका सही उपयोग करना अभी अभी मंत्री जी ने बताया भविष्य में अब चलता है वाले रवैये का से काम नहीं चलेगा.
Vice President Venkaiah Naidu called for a nationwide campaign on water conservation, urging every citizen to become a water warrior in saving every drop of water.
It's going to be an alarming situation. This kind of situation should not be allowed to continue. We'll be jeopardizing our own future and that of our future generation unless every citizen becomes a water warrior in saving every drop of water.
The Vice President called upon scientists and researchers to solve the challenge of water shortage by exploring innovative methods like desalination, technology, collecting dew, and wastewater recycling.
Contaminate groundwater. Let us pledge to give up showers for bucket baths. Let us pledge to protect every pond, every river, every spring, and every brook from plastic bags, detergents, human waste, garbage, and industrial effluents. These are all the important pledges every one of us has to take. This cannot be done by the government alone. We have an attitude, सब काम सरकार करेगा, हम बेकार बैठे तो चलेगा. ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. Each one of us should take up this responsibility to take a pledge, a pious pledge. We have examples where the collective efforts of the community averted disasters.
Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat stressed on the need for proper water management in order to conserve water in the country.
हमारा देश पानी की कमी वाला देश नहीं है. हमें ठीक से प्रबंधन करने की आवश्यकता है, ठीक से मैनेजमेंट करने की आवश्यकता है क्योंकि प्रकृति ने आज भी हमें 4000 बिलियन क्यूबिक मीटर पानी दिया है.
The Vice President also lauded the government for taking several initiatives towards saving water. He also expressed his happiness over the creation of Jal Shakti Ministry to give an impetus to integrated management of water resources, promote water conservation, recharge, reuse, and ensure water security. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Meanwhile, in their meeting, the Standing Committee on Water Resources selected subjects for detailed examination and report during the year 2020-21. The Ministry of Jal Shakti, Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation and Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation are under the jurisdiction of the committee.
The Standing Committee on Water Resources will examine subjects including conservation, development, management and abatement of pollution, River Ganga and its tributaries under Namami Gange program with reference to project deliverables and timelines and performance of state governments. Flood management, including international water treaties in the field of water resource management, flood control with particular reference to treaty agreement entered with Nepal, China, Pakistan and Bhutan. Groundwater management, review of Upper Yamuna River cleaning project up to Delhi and riverbed management in Delhi. Review of functioning of North-East Water Management Authority, review of the mandate, plan of action and project activities under the authority. Conservation and abatement of pollution in River Kaveri and other major rivers in South India. And review of the role and working of water and power consultancy services, which is a public sector enterprise under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. After the reconstitution of parliamentary standing committees, Lok Sabha MP Dr. Sanjay Jaiswal has been appointed as chairman of the Committee on Water Resources. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the Joint Committee on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 held its meeting on Thursday. On the agenda was oral evidence by the representatives of Cybal and PayPal Payments Private Limited on the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019. The JPC, which was formed in Lok Sabha last year, consists of 20 members from the Lok Sabha and 10 from the Rajya Sabha respectively. The committee is headed by BJP MP Meenakshi Lekhi. The Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 intends to regulate the processing or usage of individuals' data by the state and private entities. Well, the Estimates Committee heard from the representatives of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation on funds allocation and utilization under the MP-led fund scheme. Well, in the meeting held on Thursday, the panel also heard from the representatives of the Ministry of Civil Aviation. This on requirement of human capital and physical infrastructure to meet the growth of civil aviation sector in India and development of airports in various parts of the country. The Estimates Committee scrutinizes the functioning of government ministries and departments in terms of expenditure and utilization of funds. It also suggests alternative policies in order to bring about efficiency and economy in administration. The committee is headed by Lok Sabha MP Girish Bhalchandra Bhapat currently. Well, in other news now, where Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar released books, The Republican Ethic and Loktantra Ke Swar, on Thursday. The third volume of the books are a compilation of selected speeches delivered by the President in his third year in office. Releasing the books, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said that the books present a picture of President Kovind's work, personality and values.
समय समय पर राज्यसभा में भाषण देते हुए भी उन्होंने अंत्योदय पर अपने विचार व्यक्त किए। समाज के शोषित, दलित, पिछड़े ऐसे जो लोग हैं, उनके जीवन स्तर को कैसे ऊपर उठाया जाए, इसके बारे में भी समय समय पर उन्होंने चर्चा की।
Let's proceed with the program. May I now request of the book.
Meanwhile, Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar unveiled e-book versions of the two books. Addressing the event, Javadekar said that the President has given many inspiring speeches on various topics.
And these books are available on Amazon and Google Play.
पार्लियामेंट को संबोधन किया जो भाषण है, जिसमें सरकार की दिशा स्पष्ट होती है, या अन्य भाषण अनेक विश्वविद्यालयों में वो ग्रेजुएशन सेरेमनी में जाते हैं, कन्वोकेशन में जाते हैं, सेना के सुप्रीम कमांडर है तो सेना के सामने भी उनके भाषण होते हैं, तो उसमें सारगर्भित विचार है, उसमें एक देश का आत्मविश्वास झलकता है।
The Defence Minister and Information and Broadcasting Minister also called on President Kovind and presented the first copies of the books to him. Well, bypoll to the Rajya Sabha seat in Bihar vacated following the death of veteran LJP leader Ramvilas Paswan will be held on December 14th, the Election Commission said on Thursday. The notification for the by-poll will be issued on November 26th and polling will be held on December 14th. Counting of votes will take place in the evening of December 14th itself. Paswan's term as member of the upper house from Bihar was to end in April 2024, but he passed away on October 8th, leaving the seat vacant. Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Watch The Big Picture with me, Frank Rausen Pereira, at 9:30 p.m.
Defeat coronavirus. Let us always remember, wear a mask. Wash hands. Follow physical distancing. Together, we'll succeed. Together, we'll win against COVID-19.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Well, let's now take a look at the COVID-19 situation in the country.
India reported 45,576 new COVID-19 infections and 585 deaths in the last 24 hours. New recoveries continue to overtake the daily new cases for the 47th day with 48,493 new recoveries. Total recoveries have crossed 83.83 lakh, taking the recovery rate to 93.58%. India's active case load fell below the 5% mark today with 4.43 lakh active cases. Total cases have crossed 89.58 lakh, including 1,31,578 deaths. Delhi recorded 7,486 new COVID-19 cases yesterday, with 131 deaths, the highest fatalities for a 24-hour duration till now. Total number of cases in the national capital is over 5 lakh, with 42,458 active cases. Deaths have crossed 7,943 people, putting the death rate at 1.58%, while the recovery rate is at 89.9%. After Delhi, Kerala, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Haryana reported the highest increase in 24-hour cases. Kerala recorded 6,490 new cases, while Maharashtra registered 5,011 new cases. Haryana government ordered closure of schools after over 150 school students of classes 9 to 12 from 3 districts in Haryana tested positive for coronavirus. Delhi reported 131 deaths. Maharashtra also saw a 3-digit fatality count of 100, while West Bengal reported 54 new deaths. Punjab and Haryana reported 31 and 30 deaths respectively. ICMR tested 10.28 lakh samples on Wednesday. India has tested 12.85 crore samples so far. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the Health Ministry has deputed high-level central teams to Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat and Manipur amid rising cases in the states. The teams will visit the districts reporting high number of COVID-19 cases and support the state efforts towards strengthening containment, surveillance, testing, infection prevention and control measures and efficient clinical management. Amid rising cases and deaths in Delhi, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Thursday announced hiking fines for not using face masks from 500 rupees to 2,000 rupees. Arrangements are being made for over 1,400 ICU beds, including 663 in Delhi government hospitals and 750 at a central government facility. He also appealed to the people not to celebrate Chhath at ponds and other water bodies in the city. Meanwhile, the Delhi High Court on Thursday criticized the Aam Aadmi Party government over the rising coronavirus cases in the city. The court pulled up the government for not reducing the number of attendees at weddings when the cases were on the rise after November 1st. The High Court noted that the quantum of fine for not wearing masks, not maintaining social distancing did not appear to be a deterrent. Last week, the court had questioned the government's November 1st decision to raise the cap on the number of guests allowed at weddings to 200. Well, following the release of positive trial results, the chief executive of German firm BioNTech, which has developed a coronavirus vaccine, candidate with the American pharmaceutical giant Pfizer on Wednesday said that the companies could get emergency use authorization in the United States and Europe in December. BioNTech CEO Ugur Sahin added that if all goes well, the US Food and Drug Administration could grant emergency use approval towards the end of the first half of December or early in the second half. And finally, today is World Toilet Day. This day is being observed to create awareness about sanitation and encourage people to use toilets. In a message, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said poor sanitation increases the risk of transmission of diseases. He said hygiene and sanitation should be a priority for healthy communities and a healthy nation. He urged the people to reaffirm their commitment to keep India open defecation free. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India has strengthened its resolve of toilet for all. In a tweet, Modi said that the last few years have seen an unparalleled achievement of providing hygienic toilets to crores of Indians. He said it has brought tremendous health benefits along with dignity, especially to our Nari Shakti. The Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation of Ministry of Jal Shakti is celebrating World Toilet Day under Swachh Bharat Mission Grameen for protecting awareness on access to safe sanitation. On this occasion, top districts and states were felicitated with the Swachhata Puraskar. The theme of this year's World Toilet Day is sustainable sanitation and climate change. In his address, Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat said that the Swachh Bharat mission has transformed rural India by manifesting into a Jan Andolan for sanitation under guidance and leadership of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Well, with that, it's a wrap of this newscast. But before we leave, Rajya Sabha TV would like to appeal to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Ensure that you wear face masks and wash your hands and face regularly. Also remember to maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. These simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. That's it from me. See you again next time.